Well, I guess first of all, I mean, it's wonderful to see such a big turnout for an area to video to enhance teaching and learning. There's a lot of issues, a lot of challenges, and what we're here to talk about this morning is a solution that we've come up with at BCU. We call it MyCAT. I don't think any of us actually own a domestic cat, but my colleagues here will tell you all about it in a moment. I think MyCAT is a solution to enable our academic colleagues to quite quickly publish on the web media-rich learning resources and content, particularly multiple videos. We do try and encourage our academics to chop up videos into smaller chunks, do that sort of thing. We know there's plenty of surveys to say that our students' attention spans seem to be going down over the years. I think there was one at Harvard University, medical students, 1,500 of them. Most of them seem to tune out after the first 10 minutes of a lecture, which is a little bit of a worry, especially if they go on to do major heart surgery and that sort of thing. Okay, so first of all, my role is really just to do a bit of an introduction. My name is Bev Cole. Here's my colleagues, Mark Hetherington and Dario Faniglione, and we are the learning technology team within the Centre of Enhancement of Learning and Teaching, which is quite a mouthful at BCU, and I notice we've got one or two colleagues from BCU, so we better not exaggerate today, otherwise they'll find us out. Okay. First of all, a bit of a background. This is what we call our technology enhanced learning and teaching ecosystem, and at the core of it is Explore, our learning object repository. We use Intralibrary by Intralect. I know a lot of you guys might use other things like ePrints and DSpace and Fedora or Aquila or whatever. We use Intralibrary. I know Leeds Met use it and one or two other unis, but not too many. But it really lies at the core of our core learning and teaching platform. We have Moodle. We're on Moodle 2.7. And Explore is integrated both with Moodle and with Kaltura. So if our staff upload video to our repository, the metadata's sitting in the repository. The actual encoded and streamed video file is in Kaltura. It's also Explore is integrated with Moodle, so our staff can upload video content to Moodle directly, and it will go into Explore and therefore Kaltura. It'll produce an embed code, it'll produce a direct URL, which can be embedded into their Moodle pages, and then of course you end up with loads of videos, and it's a scroll of death. And that's one of the reasons why we came up with a bit of a platform-independent solution called MyCAT. We have MyCAT, as I said, which is integrated with Explore and Kaltura 2 for video. And we also have something called Shareville, which of course we're not talking about today, which is kind of a virtual town. It's not kind of Second Life. The guys will tell me off for saying that. But it's sort of virtual scenarios like a virtual hospital and a virtual school. It's very good for students on work-based placements. So that's another thing that I think there were. Did you get Times Higher Ed nomination a few years ago for that? I think Shareville. Anyway, so situational awareness. If any of you Twitter, we're at BCU CELT. Situational awareness, well, anybody that plays the Xbox will probably know about situational awareness. I shouldn't confess in front of 120 people that I'm hooked on the Xbox, particularly World of Tanks. With my husband, believe it or not. Okay, one of the perks on a tank is situational awareness. So we're a bit of a mixed bag at our place in terms of creative video capture and webinaring. I think some of these things will be familiar to you. We have Screencasting, which is available via Moodle. We've got a link. It's a generic license, so staff can download the software and then capture your video screen. You can create videos and edit them. Quite basic tool, but people use that. It's a bit of a diverse ways in which our academics can actually create video. We have a big blue button for web conferencing, webinars within Moodle. We have ourselves, and the guys here run a multimedia development unit as well, so you can do the green screens and stuff like that. It's very much an on-demand service from our academics. We also have a video production unit within the IT department, and they really concentrate on white screens, so it's a lecturer with a PowerPoint in the background, and that's it. And they produce a video, and of course that can be quite lengthy, and we're trying to discourage our academics from creating too many lengthy videos. And also some of our seminar rooms and lecture theatres do have Media Site by Sonic Foundry, which is an integrated solution, but we really don't do much live streaming of video of lectures. We have we really only do graduation ceremonies and keynotes, and that's about it. So maybe some of you are much more advanced in that area. But that's really the background. So the motivations for creating MyCAT, and I think I've touched on those before. We want to incentivise teaching staff to produce accessible, usable, media-rich material. And one of the ways we've done that is we've got a Learning Resource of the Month competition in which staff can individually win either a mini iPad, mini iPad and a Kindle Fire and that sort of thing, and that's a personal prize. And it's been quite successful in trying to encourage our staff to use MyCAT, which we only introduced over the last 18 months, 2 years. Overcome technical barriers related to publishing of online videos. We know there's always technical barriers and format changes and that sort of thing, and we're moving towards cloud-based solutions to video. Quick prototyping of multimedia learning material. That's really why MyCAT was created. Share multimedia assets within the institution and outside. MyCAT is very much platform independent, so we are hoping to create more open educational resources. If you want to put lots of video files as a single resource and publish it, MyCAT is our solution anyway. And the guys now hopefully will take you through it. Thank you.
Yeah. So before looking at a demonstration of MyCAT quick demonstration, the main points that we try to cover while obviously designing MyCAT. First of all, with especially media, so videos and images, what we find is that our teaching staff, academic, they wanted something easy to use. So an easy upload. They don't have to worry about compressing an image, transcoding a video from one format to the other, and make it work for any mobile device or desktop or platform. So there's quite a lot of automation that goes on behind the scene. Not as much as we want, but enough to get you started very quickly. Once you've uploaded your media asset, a drag and drop interface, which we look at, can quickly help you packaging a learning resource and give some meaning and some narrative to your media assets. Also, most importantly, we planned an asset or media management that allows automatic sharing of assets within the institution. What that means is that when I'm creating my MyCAT resource, I can quickly search the explore our repository and find videos and images and whatever that someone else in the institutions has created, and quickly drag it and drop in my package. Also, when a package is created, can be uploaded into the repository, and someone else can actually import it in their own area of MyCAT, makes the changes and republishing and reuse as a different object. Specifically, there's some areas this gets repeated so many times around the university that a solution like that is tend to be beneficial. That's what's going on behind the scenes. So the user, the creator, access the visual interface. Again, we try to make it as easy as possible. MyCAT, and all the files, media files, but even PowerPoints, they get uploaded into the repository. If media files, in the case of media files, videos, they go to Kaltura, which is an open source transcoding service. Kaltura does the clever thing in the background, creates different versions of the video for different platforms, and stores the metadata of the video in Explorer. MyCAT then can access all this data in Explorer. In actual fact, the file system of MyCAT is pretty much zero. Everything is stored in the cloud. And even the only thing that MyCAT stores is basically the project history, changes, and so on. Additional features that we've added for ease of use and flexibility include different page layouts for MyCAT projects. All the editing is done in a WYSIWYG kind of fashion, so no forms to fill in. It's all happening. Again, it's fairly basic, but it's enough to get something quickly published. Resources can be of one page or multiple pages, and the links between pages, they're either automatically handled with a linear kind of navigation, page 1, page 2, etc., or users, if they've got the time to plan it, they can create a system of non-linear navigation, and Mark is going to show you both, an example of both approaches.
Hi. Okay then, so MyCAT, building a learning resource. I would do a live demonstration here, but we know with technology it can sometimes fail. I would usually show you a video, and we know sometimes we get bored with watching a video, even though we're here to kind of discuss video. So for all intents and purposes, I'm doing a Blue Peter job here, and this is a slideshow of single frames from MyCAT. So this is the MyCAT hub. Here we've got the ability to make a learning object using the learning object editor, and as Dario's mentioned before, you've got the ability to create from scratch, or if someone's created, say, a learning resource on risk assessment, you can actually import it in and then just change it to suit your subject area, whether it be health or business and so on and so forth. We have a beta MyCAT gallery, which allows you to create a slideshow, which you can then kind of beautify your Moodle spaces and so on and so forth. We have a LAD editor, which I'm not just going to talk about here, but it's kind of like a scheme of work management planning tool. File manager is kind of like the bare bones of MyCAT, because obviously without your assets or your media, you can't actually make a learning resource. So this is where you personally upload your files, and then we've got links to kind of like a free online image editing software, and that's Pixar. So this interface here, so as you can see, choices on the left, and on the right-hand side we've got a list of kind of projects that I have running. Okay, so this is your editorial space. I'm trying to make it very clutter-free, very easy and open, so it's broken into 3 regions. On the left-hand side we kind of have the settings and options of the actual project. At the top we kind of have your widget area, which consists of layout, widgets, which are your building blocks, so it could be text areas, accordions and tabbing, media assets and document linking and so on and so forth. My pages, each page I create, it gives you a thumbnail so you can quick navigate between the two. My files will give you a list of my files, the stuff that I've uploaded, but it also gives you an icon in there where you can actually get in and retrieve straight from the repository. And my widgets, we've built in this, sometimes when you create a resource, there's a lot of repetition on your pages. Well, the My Widgets allows you to kind of duplicate a widget that you previously used, so you can copy and paste, basically. Okay, as Dario has mentioned before, it's a simple drag and drop. I can't demonstrate that here, but this icon here drags into this open space, and you can see it's changed to orange. So I'm literally clicking to the top, moving in. It's touch activated as well as mouse activated, so you can both work on tablets and laptops. So you literally drag it to the area. It says, do you want to confirm? Yes, and here we go. So it's simple as that. I've changed it now to a 2-column layout. So now I've kind of got my base structure. I now want to kind of add some content. So I've gone to widgets, and as you can see, I've got paragraph, accordion, tabs, and media and documents. I've decided that I want to stick a paragraph in the right-hand column. and it denotes through a highlighted orange background. If I want to stick it in the left, it will do it like so. And then there we go. So I'll drop it in there, and it automatically opens up a WYSIWYG editor. You've got the same text, the same formatting capabilities that you would see in Word, Google Docs, and so on and so forth. And it's quite a powerful tool. You can obviously stick a lot more media in there, and so on and so forth. On the the right-hand side, you'll notice there's a little tabbing section that denotes to the widget that I'm using, and I've got the ability to remove it. The next one underneath is the ability to clone. Underneath, I can change the colour of the background, or there's a little pin icon, which means I can actually go freeform and remove it from the constraints of a column and just move the widget around. Okay, so I've added some text, and as you can see, I've done a bit of styling and so on and so forth. Now I want to beautify this, I want to stick in some content. So I've gone to the media widget, and I'm going to drop that in the right-hand side. Basically, MyCAT's clever enough that it says it recognises that it needs an asset file to go in there, so it switches the widget area to My Files, and from there it's it's a horizontal sliding area, and in there that will contain my videos, my audio, my pictures, and so on and so forth. So I simply just drag that content and drop it into that orange space there, and there we go. Now, again, you don't have to do any resizing. MyCAT will do that all in the background. So if you've got 3 columns, it will shrink it. What it does, it works on a width kind of aspect ratio, so it will automatically calculate the height for you, so you don't have to do any of that styling for you. So again, we're speeding up that process of making a resource and taking some of the decisions out of your hand. Okay, so it's quite easy to add extra pages. Coming back to the settings menu on the side, you've got the simple plus and minus. And here I'm just going to add a video. So again, using the one-fits-all kind of media widget, which is like audio, video and picture, I drag that to that area, and I simply drop in the video into that space. We use a JW Player because it's open and easy accessible. Also, using the settings icon, I've got the ability to name pages. I can hide the page from view if I want to, if it's work in progress. I've got the ability to change the colour of the slide background. And the next one, as Dario's mentioned, we've got this linear and non-linear approach to the learning resource. Using the project information, I can actually hide the navigation. So we can have a look at the project. To do so, you click the, obviously, Publish Export button. Now, publishing basically creates a URL, a special URL for this, and publishes it straight to the web. However, we've also added the Export Package feature, which allows you to kind of take that resource offline, put it on a zip stick and go abroad with it, or put it on a CD-ROM and so on and so forth, which will have its own zipped executable file. It's IMS compliant, so of course it can be uploaded into kind of your VLEs and have it deployed actually within there. Okay, so I've clicked publish, and there you go, got that unique URL, and clicking that will then give you this. Just bear with me. I've got a minute and a half left. Here we go. So this is kind of the player. This is what the student would see. So I've got the navigation, so I can switch between the resource pages I've created here, or you can use a standard navigation system over here. We have accessibility features, we can change fonts, we've got the ability to change colours. So this is what the student would use. So this is them manipulating the resource to fit their needs. It's HTML5, so without having a zoom in and zoom out button, we'd simply use Control plus or minus to zoom in and zoom out. It is mobile friendly, and bear with me. So that's the resource. Now my colleague has tweeted this link so you can have a quick look at it yourselves. And now we're going to look at branching videos. So here we have the MyCAT Player, and as you can see, I now don't have any of the kind of navigation or the drop downs and so on and so forth. So we're creating a resource that is heavily reliant on you creating the links as to where to go. Now we kind of see this as a kind of way to create kind of experiential learning. There are some principles behind when developing branching scenarios. So, you know, the creator, the lecturer, the editor has to think carefully about what you want your students to accomplish or how it's going to be used. Is it a tool that's going to be used for kind of a work placement preparation tool? Do you have some sort of quiz or concept that you're trying to get across, and so on and so forth? Do you have the resources in place? Do you have the assets available to you? Do you need to create them? Do you have the capacity to record them? or do you have the actual time to do that? So these are all the things that you need to consider when you're creating kind of like a branching video scenarios. Planning, mapping out the resource and so on and so forth. It's a bit like a book, it needs a beginning, middle and end. Thing about branching videos though, there can be multiple endings and there can be many, many middles and so on and so forth, and there's a possibility of looping around. When doing branching videos, I kind of say it's best to start off with simple choices because students sometimes might not be used to this kind of typical resource. So give them easy options to go through and so on and so forth. And as they progress through this branching video scenario, this book, it's then kind of, you can become a bit more complex and so on and so forth. So I'm going to skip this. We try to make the story student-centered, so as they're a part of the story, the characters that we use in these branching videos interact with them on a one-to-one level. Sorry, and I'm going to go to the next page. Have we got enough time? No? Sorry, okay. This link has been published via Twitter. Have a play around with it. It's a scenario based on a health resource and everything else, so it allows you to kind of branch, and there's some fighting going involved, and you get to choose what actually happens and so on and so forth. And if you're happy, if you're not happy, you can actually redo the kind of event again. But by all means, please have a play, and I've run out of time.
Okay, so thank you guys for listening to us, and we'll have more on MyCAT in the future, so keep up with our tweets. Thank you.
Yeah, I do hope we will have more on MyCAT in the future. It really needs a wee bit more time, and we've talked very briefly about doing a workshop maybe at the next MELSIG event when you'll be in a better position and have a wee bit more time to cover more of this really interesting stuff. This is all about usability, and this usability is key to us as teachers and learners, because then we can start to do really interesting things in terms of promote interactivity with some of this media. So thanks to Bev, Mark and Dario and the MyCAT team.